Hello and welcome to episode 13 of the Miles and Goggles Show. I'm your host, Miles. Across my screen, we've got my co-host, Goggles. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Ready for episode 13. It's going to be a good one.
Yep. So today we're going to go over some winners and losers from this past weekend. A lot of things going on. Fortunately, not a lot of off-court issues to talk about. Most of this stuff's going to be on-court basketball stuff.
And same with injuries. There weren't many injuries either.
Yeah,
Like
injuries,
last
not a ton of
episode, we
injuries.
had like Siakam and all that. And now this episode, it's like plus.
Yeah. So, Godwin, start us off. Who do you have as, I guess we could say, who is the biggest winner of the weekend in your eyes?
Well, I'm going to say 76ers, but more importantly, Joel Embiid, because he got off to a very rough start this season. And he's kind of showing that, hey, he's back. Like he's the leader of this team again. And with James Harden being out, he's been a big part of why they've been winning games.
Well, his last two games, ridiculous. In a span of 24 hours, puts up
He's averaging 50.
42, 10, and 6 in one game against the Hawks. And then against the Jazz the next night, 59 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists, and 7 blocks. I mean, that is just ridiculous.
That's the definition of dominant basketball. It's like prime Shaq in a way.
I don't even think you could get more dominant than that. You could not have a better stat line at the center position than that.
Yeah, unless Jokic did it with a quadruple double or something.
Yeah, and something about Embiid this season is he's only shooting 24% from three. But once again, he's doing that foul baiting stuff. Well, I don't even know if it's foul baiting with him. He just gets to the line.
Hate it. He does foul bait a lot.
Yeah.
And it's annoying.
Yeah.
It's the same thing Trae Young and Kevin Love and Dwayne Wade, they all do it. And James Harden.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Embiid, it's great to see him have these great dominant performances because, like you said, the first couple games he didn't look like himself.
Not at all.
Just was playing bad. The Sixers were playing bad, and then he got injured a little bit. And hopefully these back-to-back wins can help the Sixers gain a little bit of momentum. They're now 7-7 on the season. They're at 500, and
Not really
hopefully
expected
they'll be
them,
able
but
to rise up the standings a little bit. We'll see what happens.
yeah.
Let's go to another winner. Let's talk about the Thunder. The OKC Thunder got a couple wins this weekend. One against the Toronto Raptors and then one against the Knicks in Madison Square Garden, where Shea went crazy. Josh Giddey went crazy. A game where they scored 145 points in regulation.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. And Shea had 37. Josh Giddey had a triple-double. I mean, just some great things from the Thunder. Lou Dort had an efficient game as well.
Don't even have Chet back yet.
I know that's the crazy thing is they haven't been tanking so far. They've been a pretty solid team.
It's like every team we thought that was going to tank hasn't been tanking except like the Magic and Rockets.
Well, even then the Magic, what are the Magic? Well, the Magic have gotten some wins against some good teams. Like, who are their wins against? They beat the Suns, the Mavericks, the Warriors, and the Hornets is bad, but
yeah, Hornets, we knew they were going to be bad.
Yeah.
But LaMelo's back.
Yeah, LaMelo is back. That is something. He just played against Miami a couple nights ago.
Put up 16-5-5, right?
Yeah.
16-5-5.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I don't know how much he'll help them win games, and I don't think that they should be trying to win games this year. But it's just good to see an all-star back, especially someone as talented as he is and as young as he is.
Now we're just waiting for Kawhi.
It's all Kawhi. You and Kawhi, man. Love-hate relationship.
I don't think he loves me, but I hate him.
Or else he would have played.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, a couple quick winners right there. You want to go talk about a loser?
Yes.
All right. So obviously we spent a lot of time on this team when they were winning, so we've got to spend enough time when they're losing games. That is the Cleveland Cavaliers on a 4-game losing streak, really losers of the last week, not just the weekend. Lost 4 pretty winnable games, and it was all basically due to some basically lackadaisical defense to start off games. Other than the Warriors game, Steph Curry just went crazy.
Yeah.
But the other games,
Mobley's been not that good recently, and they also obviously last night missed Jared Allen and Donovan Mitchell, and Darius Garland put up 51, but he didn't have much help outside of that. So
yeah, no one else wanted to come to the party with Garland yesterday.
I would have come. I would have come and scored a bunch.
Yeah, maybe.
I like
But
players.
yeah, Mobley, it's weird. So actually before the Minnesota game, the Clippers, Kings, and Warriors games, he actually was looking pretty good statistically, playing really well. But I think still at this point, especially from the Minnesota game, he can't play center. He just can't.
No, he can't. He's not big enough, especially against a big boy like Rudy.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
just it can't happen.
the Cavs were better off with Robin Lopez in there than Mobley, which was just
Junkyard dog,
um
like Robin Lopez.
I love Robin Lopez. He's amazing. But yeah, and then Mitchell and Allen both going out with injuries. It's just something I don't know if it's like I don't know if we need to overreact. I think that they're going to be fine. I mean, they just
they're still
played
fourth in
like
the
a week
East.
ago. What?
They're still fourth in the East.
Yeah, yeah. And something too, they play the Bucks on Wednesday, but after that they've got 4 in 5 games at home, which I mean that's a lot of games in one stretch, but hopefully getting some home cooking, hopefully they can get back on track.
Sleeping in their own beds.
Yeah, because just the defense. What are they ranked still? They're still ranked like 4th in defensive rating, but it seems like during this losing streak, they've just been giving up easy buckets inside to
How
these.
long has Jared Allen been out?
He just missed the Minnesota game. That's it.
Oh, okay. Because that probably didn't help at all. Because he could have guarded Rudy, and then you could have just put Mobley on Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, because like late in the game, they were having Lamar Stevens guarding Towns, and I was like, oh man, that's not love Lamar, but that's just not it's not the key to success. So
I'd rather put Dean Wade on him.
yeah, well, he was also injured, so
Whole team basically. It's like my fantasy team.
oh yeah. Can't go an episode without Goglin complaining about his fantasy team.
There's a lot to complain about.
Yeah, I'm sure there's lots to complain about.
Outside of Dame and Russ.
So Goglin, do you want to go to one of your other losers, or do you have another winner? Where would you like to go next?
I'll go to my weird loser. It's kind of it's like weird, but it's also like interesting. I have the San Antonio Spurs as a loser from this weekend. Now the weird thing is they won a game and they lost a game and they played really well. Or did they win both? I'm not entirely sure, but they're sitting at 11th right now in the West, which is if I'm the Spurs, that's not where I want to be. I'd rather be like if I'm gonna be 11th, like 10 through 15, I don't want to be 11th. I'd rather be like 14 or 15, because if like at that point just tank, because they're gonna get beat down in the playoffs if they get there, or like the play-in, but they also won't be like good. Like they won't. Their first round exit.
If they keep winning the way they are right now, they won't be bad enough to get a draft pick, and they won't be good enough to do anything.
Exactly, they're like middle of the pack, which for this team, I don't know if that's the best thing right now.
No, it's
necessarily.
not.
So that's why I kind of have them as a loser right now, even though they are winning.
I can kind of see. I mean, the thing is, the West standings. I mean, anytime like every year at this point of the season, we're like about a month in, the standings are going to look a little weird. Like Minnesota's 12th, Golden State is 13th. They haven't won on the road yet.
Rockets aren't surprising, I'll say that.
Rockets and Lakers. I mean, you could. Lakers are 3-10. Rockets, you'd expect at 2-11. But it's like the Spurs. I think it's realistic for them to be in the 13th, 14th spot. And then these teams that are hot to start, like I know we
Utah.
love Utah. We love
Utah.
Sacramento. We'll probably talk about Sacramento later. Um, and the Thunder that we just talked about, I don't know if they'll still be up as high as they are later on in the season. I mean, that's just something we'll have to find out later.
Yeah.
Speaking of Sacramento, though, let's talk about the Kings. They're definitely a winner for sure. They've
Winner.
been playing some very good basketball lately.
Sabonis is playing fantastic. De'Aaron Fox is one of the best point guards in the league. I think he's probably behind maybe Dame, um, obviously Luca and Steph. And I don't know. I can't really name anybody off the
Yeah,
top of my head that's playing
Trey,
better than I guess. Yeah,
Trey and Ja too.
that's true. But I mean, he's averaging like 20, 25.5, and he's doing it every night. He's playing fantastic.
55% from the field too. Mid-range master, and he's such a good slasher.
Yeah. And he hits threes when he needs to. And I think that's what makes him so good. Like he had that was it the game it was a game winner, correct? Was it game tying? I don't remember. A couple weeks was it a week ago?
Oh, in the Magic game, that deep
Yeah.
three? Yeah.
I mean, he's it's been fun to watch. Like I know one of the things I was joking about at the beginning of the season, like the worst game you could watch is like Sacramento versus the Magic. But now I'm like, wow, Sacramento, or was it Sacramento versus the Jazz? And now I'm like, well, that'd be a really good game.
Yeah, it's crazy. Utah or not Utah, Sacramento is on a 3-game winning streak with wins against Golden State, Cleveland, and the Lakers. So I mean, 3 solid wins, and they've scored what? If they scored 120 in all of those games, yeah, they really could be on a. They could be on an 8-game winning streak if you think about it, because they have that 3-game winning streak. They lost a game to the Warriors where Kevin Huerter got fouled at the end of the
That
game.
was
They
bad.
didn't call it. They won their previous game against the Magic on that crazy Fox shot. They lost at the end to Miami when Tyler Hero traveled. And then they won their previous 2 games. It's not out of the realm of possibility that this team could have been on an 8-game winning streak. It's crazy.
And I hope that they finally end their drought. That's what I hope.
Yeah, especially for Kings fans, this is probably the best roster they've had in at least a decade.
Yeah. It's just like it's fun. It's a fun team to watch for sure. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, in the arena, it's a fun atmosphere to listen to as well.
And their beam, that's like their beam that they do after every win. That's clever. It's fun.
Yeah, it's awesome. It really is cool.
It reminds me of like a Minecraft beacon or something.
Yeah, for sure. Where would you like to go to next?
So we did talk about our winners and losers before this, but I actually just thought of another winner that I might have, even though his team is not necessarily playing like winners. I'm gonna say Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, you
Because
got to talk about. Hey, he's right behind you. He's
there's
Rockets
nobody else
legend.
in this picture right here. Nobody else. It's just Westbrook. Definitely. But this is the most efficient Westbrook we've seen in a couple years. He's shooting the three ball so comfortably right now. I mean, I saw today that he has made the most threes for the Lakers, and he's leading them in 3-point percentage. That is not what I was
Unbelievable.
expecting at the beginning of this season. And it's not getting talked about enough because yes, the Lakers are not playing very good, but he's playing amazing. And I think he's playing his role perfectly.
Now, something interesting. Do you think that since he's playing well on this like bench role, do you think that his stock is getting higher, and then that Buddy Hield, Miles Turner trade, it might pop back up somewhere? Like, do you think that the Lakers would still think about trading him?
I
Like,
mean, maybe. But I mean, it's interesting because if I'm like the Pacers, I wouldn't necessarily do that just because he is Westbrook and he has that huge contract and they're probably just gonna buy him out. They just want that first round pick. But like also then that frees him up for every other team in the league if they do buy him out. So
yeah,
I don't
but
know.
Westbrook has played very well off the bench. We've talked about it a lot before. I'm so glad they finally decided to do it, because I mean, they could have done this like a long time ago.
Last year,
They
realistically.
could have done it last year.
And he's just got his like I said last episode, his swag is he's got swag back. He's having fun out there, and he's not getting criticized every night. And I think that's something that he needs to thrive.
It's huge, huge for sure. Um, let's go to one more loser. Well, one more small loser I have is kind of the Pistons, kind of. They could kind of be
Yeah,
winners in this as well.
they should be tanking, so it's good that they're losing, but
They're
also
losing games, but they've lost Cade Cunningham. He's going to miss the next 3 games with left shin soreness. But if they're tanking, it might not be that bad. So, you know, kind of a win-loss thing. But an actual loser that I would have is the Toronto Raptors losing
Mhm.
both games this weekend to the Thunder and the Pacers. That should not happen. That shouldn't be
it shows
happening.
it shows how valuable Pascal Siakam is realistically, because they definitely would have won those games if he was playing. Because I think he's like the whole centerpiece around that team. He's their best scorer and he's one of their better defenders. And they're definitely gonna miss him for until he comes back. But they just
Yeah.
gotta figure out a way to win without him being there.
For sure, that's the thing. I mean, it's just hard the way they play because they don't have any other centers. They play Chris Boucher and Christian Coloco. Christian Coloco has been starting for them, a rookie. But like I don't just their style of playing guys so many minutes and basically focusing on getting a bunch of steals and getting out in transition and stuff. It's like when you lose some of the top players that allow you to play that way, it's going to be hard to win games.
Yeah, because Freddie didn't play one of those games as well, so that's another reason they lost. So when you have
Yeah,
your 2 best players out, it's gonna be tough to win.
yeah, for sure. Do you have
And
any
Scotty Barnes hasn't been
other?
playing good.
Yeah, Scotty Barnes. I don't know.
He's just the same player I feel like he was last year.
Yeah, that's how I feel about most of the second year players so far. Besides, Sengun has played really well.
And Jalen Green, he's playing really well too.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
got a
the
couple
Rocket,
30
the
point
couple
games.
of Rockets guys. Then Jalen Suggs as well. But like,
And
as
Suggs been
far as
playing
the
really good.
top guys go, like the top 3 for rookie there was Cade Cunningham, Evan Mobley, Scotty Barnes. Cade's looked pretty good. The other 2 haven't looked that great because I mean, so far they just look like supporting pieces to playoff teams, which in the end, at this point of their careers, that's what they are. But you would have hoped to see a little bit of a bigger jump than they have so far. But I mean, there's still plenty of time. So,
Yeah, for sure.
you got any other winners or losers?
I do have a loser. It's actually Nikola Jokic. Um, because he's coming off back-to-back MVPs, and he's gotten off to kind of a slow start, at least scoring the ball wise. He's doing everything else like he usually does, but he needs if he scores the ball even more, Denver's gonna be, I think, unstoppable. Especially because they're starting to gel again.
Yeah, they're starting to gel. I mean, it's crazy when you look at the standings. I'm pretty sure they're tied for. Are they tied for? Yeah, they're tied for first with Portland, and it's
And
like they haven't really. I don't think they've looked that great.
yeah, and they've been streaky and like especially Jokic, he's been kinda like he's been weird. He's been scoring a lot one night, but not getting the other statistical categories and like doing all the other stuff. But then he won't score and he'll get a ton of assists and a ton of rebounds. It's so weird.
Yeah, it's mainly because he's looking to get the other guys involved. Like Jokic is third on the team in shot attempts behind Jamal Murray and Michael Porter, 2 guys coming back from last year. Porter has been amazingly
Very well.
efficient. And
Yeah.
Jamal Murray's looked pretty solid as well, putting up 16 points per. And then there are other role guys, KCP, Bones Highland has been on fire.
Like bones.
Yeah. But the Nuggets, they're just a team that's just they got to keep gelling together, and they're getting wins, man. They're getting wins.
Yeah, that's all that matters come playoff time. Is where you are
Mhm.
in those standings. It doesn't matter how good your players are doing.
For sure. One more winner that I'll have. The Boston Celtics on a 6-game winning streak,
They're
looking
looking like they were
very
last year.
good. They're looking like a contender once again, and big reason for that is Jason Tatum looking fantastic again. Um, this season, and especially over the weekend, putting up 34 points against the Nuggets, 43 points, 10 rebounds with 7 3-pointers against the Pistons.
I don't even really hear him getting talked about like a crazy amount either.
No, not really.
Like he's quietly having like an insane year. He's averaging 32, I believe,
Yeah.
on one of the most winningest teams in basketball right now.
Yeah, he's putting up
Crazy.
32 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists on 50, 39, 87 splits. So very good.
That's crazy.
And the defense has been there too. He's been a terrific defender.
And one thing I'm noticing, he's taking a lot more efficient shots. He's not like settling for those double team shots or like those like spinning like mid-range and like with a hand in his face. He's looking for better shots and he's looking for open teammates more.
Yeah, Celtics have looked very, very great. I think in the next episode we might do like power rankings or something like we might do power
Like
rankings. We might do
25 and an
awards.
award.
Yeah, we might. Yeah. Celtics definitely going to be up there as far as players, awards, and their place in the power rankings because they've been looking fantastic.
Yes.
So the Bucks, of course. I mean, just all these top teams have been looking very solid. I know before. Did you say you want to talk about the Wizards a little bit?
I do. They're looking fantastic.
Wizards are 8-6. They're currently 5th in the East.
And they haven't even had Bradley Beal for 5 straight games. And they've been winning.
It's been the
Kristaps
Porzingis and Kuzma show.
Porzingis is looking like New York Porzingis, and it's fantastic. You could even say he's looking a little better than New York Porzingis.
Yeah, these last few games, the Wizards have looked very solid. They beat the Grizzlies and the Jazz, Mavericks as well. I mean, they're just playing well. They're playing well as a team, and Porzingis has been fantastic.
And if Beal can like play with the team and like put up really, really good numbers, like 25-ish points, this team could be a sneaky. I won't say necessarily contender, but they could be like a second round team if they all gel together and if they all play this good.
Yeah, I mean, similar to the West, there are some things in the East standings that are still a little bit weird. Like, because I mean, the Wizards, they started really well last year. I remember at this point, they were probably the 1 seed. Like, very strange things, but
They
it's
were
like
the 1 seed.
you have the Wizards over the Sixers, the Raptors, the Heat, Bulls, and Nets. So you just never know what happens. But I mean, the Wizards they're playing very good right now, and I mean, you can't ask for anything better than that so far.
Yeah. And another thing I saw, I was looking through stats today, like trying to make my awards and everything. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is top 10 in both blocks and steals. I just thought that was interesting.
Is he really?
He's averaging 1.5, I think 1.5 steals and 1.7 blocks.
He's got 2
Which is actually
steals and
crazy.
1.5 blocks. I mean,
That's crazy.
yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw on Twitter yesterday. It's like the only other player to put up 1.5 steals and 1.5 blocks. The only one that was a guard was Michael Jordan.
Who's that?
For Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. If like
Yeah, who's the other guy?
oh, who's Michael Jordan? Oh, I don't know. Some guy, some old guy. I've never seen him play before.
Second best player ever.
But yeah, Shai, look, the Thunder. It's really been the Shai show. I mean, he's been amazing.
And Giddey's playing a good. He's like playing up the perfect Robin role. I'll say like Shai is Batman and like Giddey's the perfect Robin.
Yeah. When Chet comes back next season, definitely a scary team to look out for in the future.
And if they get Victor, then they'll have the Twin Towers.
Ooh,
Jeez.
they're looking solid for the future.
I heard that they might be trading. They could look to trade Shai though.
I think that they'd only trade him if he wanted out.
And if they could get a bunch of first round picks. And Sam Presti would just be like, he'd be like a goblin that just steals all your picks.
That'd be crazy if they waited this long and then traded him. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
That'd be something else. Is there anything else you want to go over? I think we got all the main winners and losers out of the way. Any other extra topics?
I don't have anything.
Sweet. I think we're all good. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like rating. I know Goglin in a little bit is going to get back to working on those Twitter shorts a little bit. Please leave a comment with your thoughts on the weekend, the winners and losers, your thoughts on the season so far. But from episode 13, I'm Miles,
I'm Goggles.
and we'll catch you in the next one.
Peace.